Hello everyone and welcome to my 25th review. Today I'll be reviewing Kids See Ghost by Kanye West and Kid Cudi. Before this I've been a big fan of Kanye and I'll be honest and say I'm pretty sure I've only listened to Man on the Moon one before this. So I haven't heard much Cudi, but what I did get I thought was immensely impressive. I wasn't too aware of their history together besides working on some songs together, so I went into this being a much more happy album. But it's definitely a much more honest album that shows a lot of growth from the both of them and became one of my favorite albums after a while. Let's get into this. Fetal Love is the intro and seems to start off the album very mellow with all these soft synths, but then coming in with these strong vocals from Kid Cudi and makes it more attention grabbing. Pusha T's verse is incredible but not really anything new. But alongside the soft synth, it makes it very suspenseful, making it seem like it's gonna go into something big. And it does because out of nowhere I didn't expect Kanye to be like scatting, I guess, or yelling alongside these very heavy drums, which I immensely think make the song better. The song doesn't do much after that besides cutting on the chorus again and the drums coming back at the outro. A great intro and one of my favorite songs. Fire is definitely a good song with this very western sounding instrumental with great guitar flute, and I think this drum sample from a Napoleon the 16th song, which I think fits so well with this constant marching feel from the tambourine and other percussion. And with the instrumental having had help with production from Andre 3000, it was cool seeing him help produce. Kanye and Cudi on this song is incredible. I personally prefer Cudi on this song, but Kanye is still great. The outro section with this looping guitar was weird at first, but it does sound good, and adds a lot even though it doesn't make sense to be there. Another great song. While I do immensely love this song, it's not the best compared to other songs, but I do think this is still a phenomenal song. Also, Cudi's humming is great, of course. Fourth Dimension is another one of my favorites featuring Louis Prima, even though it doesn't really, and it just samples a Louis Prima song like Kanye and Jay-Z did on Otis. Just sampling Otis Redding and not actually featuring it per se. But what they do with the sample is surprisingly incredible, making it one of my favorite instrumentals alongside really heavy bass and constant drums. Describing lovers' sex as this new dimension was creative and surprisingly fitting with the instrumental sounding very enchanting or spacey with the Louis Prima vocal sample. And this song is maybe my favorite verse from Kanye on this project with great parts like when he says he's in the wrong hold and saying he's lost, or when he says if I get locked up I won't finish the sentence, and he cuts off before he could finish the sentence. Cudi on this song is also incredible, but now I kinda prefer Kanye. Cudi sounds somewhat nasally, which isn't the best at some points, but it's not too bad either, I guess. The little skit at the end is pretty funny too. It's definitely a great song, but compared to other songs I do like more songs over this. But this song is so entertaining and hard-hitting. Freeee is the sequel to Ghost Town on Kanye's album Ye, and I will say, I personally like this song more than the original Ghost Town, with another very rock-inspired instrumental with Kanye Cudi and also Dolla trading off talking about it seems them getting away from a bad or sad life and feeling free. It just has this power and aggression to it that makes it such a good listen with all three of them doing great. I love it when they have this exaggerated feeling to their voice when they say, I feel free. The sections with Dolla saying I feel free is immensely beautiful sounding with so many layers to his voice, which just makes it sound like an incredible choir. Then going back into this aggressive instrumental. This is definitely one of my favorites. Not my favorite, but definitely top 3. This next song I know so many people are gonna hate me for, and you have every right to because I understand where people get their views from when hearing this song. It's definitely one of the more saddening songs on this album. And while I still love this song, it's probably my least favorite. Mainly because I don't think it needs to be almost 5.5 minutes. And even that doesn't really change up too much during the song. It's mostly Kid Cudi singing, which is beautiful by the way. And then Kanye having, yes, one of his best verses. But it's a pretty short verse that you kind of forget ever happened because Cudi takes up most of the song. Cudi is incredible on this song, and so is Kanye. But it gets to a point for me where it's repetitive and I think like, alright, I get it. Can we change it up? Cudi's humming is some of the strongest and attention grabbing on this album and has great writing, great fitting production. Kanye fits very well too and has one of his best verses. But to summarize it, it sounds beautiful and they both do incredible with some of their best performances, but it could be shorter and change it up a bit. Kids Ghost is another one of my favorites and one of the songs I go back to the most. But even though it's one of my favorites, it's not too good compared to other songs. I should have said this earlier, but I think all these songs are equally incredible besides maybe Reborn personally. So it's extremely hard for me to rank these songs when I love them all equally. But this is an incredible song with great enchanting instrumental, sounding very jungle-like with this raindrop sounding loops and heavy bass. Yasiin Bey, if you don't know, is most deaf, fits so well and sings so well. I just think in general Yasiin isn't appreciated enough for his singing voice. But it's very calming then on his verses, very monotone, which fits so well. Cudi on this song is also incredible, with incredible humming of course. Kanye's verse is much more fast-paced, but I love what he does. I love that you can hear him take breaths after almost every line. I love his little laugh at the end of his verse too. Great performance and very entertaining. One of my favorites, but compared to other songs, I guess it's not the best, which pains me to say, but I'll be honest and say other songs have better parts I like. Cudi Montage is the outro and the song I want to the least, but going back to it, I can definitely say this is my favorite song. This is personally a more entertaining, shorter version of Reborn. It's just so beautiful with great performances from Kid Cudi and Kanye, alongside a great instrumental with a great guitar, which is a Kurt Cobain sample, then alright drums and great Rhodes and synths. Cudi's verse is great and his humming every now and then is great. This song also has one of the best choruses on the project. I do prefer Kanye's verse personally, and his singing and spoken word on the outro is beautiful to me and a great way to end this phenomenal album. And all I really have to say left is, this has some of Kanye and Cudi's best work with feel-good and saddening moments alongside some incredible and creative production. 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching.